Happy holidays, everyone, and Merry Christmas. So, I would like to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart, something somewhat festive and somewhat spooky, and that is Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas is, it, if I'm allowed some small shred of hyperbole, in many ways responsible for my talent as a writer. From a young age, I have loved Nightmare Before Christmas. The setting, the characters, the songs. It is beautifully animated in this great gothic style, which does still hold up today. And it really embodied everything I adored as a child, and for the most part, everything I adore even now. Obviously, Tim Burton has had something of a storied career with many highs and many lows, but I'd say Nightmare combines all of the best parts of his work and does away with a great deal of the bad. And then again, what do I know? I liked the Sleepy Hollow movie. Anyway, I probably don't have to recap what Nightmare Before Christmas is about, since it's a fairly popular movie. Uh, but for the uninitiated, it's about the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town, Jack Skellington, the smooth talking skeleton, trying to take over Christmas because he's a little bit bored with Halloween. Don't ask me why. I basically live Halloween every day, but oh, never mind. Uh, to this end, Jack kidnaps Santa Claus, impersonates him, builds a sleigh pulled by undead reindeer, and proceeds to deliver murderous Halloween themed presents to the children of the world. If that sounds rather villainous, you'd be right, because now it's time for me to step into a bit of hot water. You see, Jack, in my not so humble opinion, is a villain. He's a great villain, and he eventually tries to redeem himself, but he's a villain. I don't think his legion of killer Christmas toys was going to cause any serious permanent injury to anyone. I think it's more in keeping with the Halloween theme of trying to spook the children, because Jack doesn't really understand what Christmas is about. But still, come on, Jack. He spends a great deal of this movie cackling like a madman and screaming at children when he's not launching into some cracking good songs about how lonely and artful he is. He's something like a Shakespeare villain in many ways. He also entrusts the captured Santa Claus to these three hooligan trick or treaters who I sort of wanted to be as a kid because I thought villains were cool, and I hadn't realized that Jack was a villain yet. Um, these kids, though, dressed as a devil, a witch, and a skeleton, they get around in a walking clawfoot tub. They sing songs about how mean and awful they are, and they have a house full of death traps and torture equipment. Who's in charge of these kids is what I want to know. Are they orphans? Are they some sort of Halloween goblins? I'm not entirely sure. But they are secretly the minions of Oogie Boogie, the embodiment of all the bad, mean-spirited aspects of Halloween, right? And the coolest villain in a kids movie ever, of the same class as the OG Maleficent and Syndrome from The Incredibles. See, Oogie Boogie is this. I guess he's sort of a giant gambler meets carnival barker, chuckling knapsack filled with the seven deadly sins, is the best way I can describe him. He is greedy and selfish and wrathful, and about as lustful as you can be in a children's movie. And his lair is kitted out with all these casino themed death traps and gadgets. His whole deal, I think, is that he means to ruin everyone's day at any given time. He feeds off of people's fear, I suppose. He knows Jack is out of his depth with the whole Christmas thing, and I think he winds up trying to execute Santa, perhaps as a means of perpetuating the malcontent and despair caused by the whole charade. I mean, I don't think Oogie would be happy unless he was the Pumpkin King and in charge. Um, you can see I put a lot of thought into this, right? There's not a lot of information necessary to enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think giving it some extra thought really does add to the enjoyment. Uh, Oogie doesn't even need a monologue to for you to know what he's about. I think he's already had a song, a banging tune, if ever there was one, about how awesome and evil he is. So you can kind of extrapolate the rest from there. While it is Jack who saves the day by defeating Oogie Boogie and dumping his innards in what I can only assume to be a pot of molten lava, I'd argue that the real hero of the movie is Sally, Jack's love interest and fellow heartsick undead. But unlike her half scarecrow, half skeleton beloved, Sally is a Frankenstein-esque flesh golem. Uh, Sally is also compassionate and kind-hearted, and she tries really freaking hard to save Jack from making really stupid decisions and causing people a lot of misfortune. Jack is kind of lost in his own head throughout the movie. He really doesn't know what he's doing to a certain extent. He doesn't realize that he's making people unhappy. He's the Pumpkin King. He's heralded for scaring people. So he doesn't fully realize that sometimes people don't want to be scared. Right? But like honestly, I think Sally could do better than Jack. Um I mean, she even puts herself in danger by trying to rescue Santa Claus, right? Trying to save the day, only to be captured by Oogie Boogie in the end. If not for Jack being like an extremely dangerous fighter, um, that could have ended badly for everyone. But I digress. See, things end on a happy note, with Jack and Sally together, Santa Claus back in power, and fixing things, and things sort of come back to normal for everyone, with Jack feeling secure in his role as Pumpkin King once again, and he's ready for the next Halloween. It's great, actually. I freaking love Nightmare Before Christmas. And you know what? We need more movies like Nightmare Before Christmas, and we need them now. I want Krampus. I want the Yule Cat. I want that crazy old woman with all the troll children. Uh, Give me spooky Christmas. Give me crazy Christmas. Like that one episode of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Give me it all injected into my veins. Yeah, my personality is like horror Christmas. That's my whole deal. So I guess you've learned something about me today. Yeah. Go watch Nightmare Before Christmas for me. Um, yeah. Bye.